Today is May 17th, 2025. In Cambridge, a cancer trial just reported a 100% survival rate. Can 3 years really make that much of a difference?
That's quite a headline. Can we take a step back? What did these Cambridge researchers actually do differently this time?
They combined chemotherapy with Olaparib, which is a targeted drug, before surgery. This was specifically for women with aggressive inherited breast cancers, so those with BRCA1 and BRCA2 mutations. In the early stage trial, all 39 women survived for at least 3 years after their surgeries.
How is that compare to what's usually done? I mean, the standard treatment.
The control group got standard therapy, and in that group, 88% survived over the same 3-year period. So this new protocol outperformed the standard by a noticeable margin.
But Olaparib is typically given after surgery, isn't it? What's different about how they used it here?
Exactly. Traditionally, Olaparib is given for 12 months after surgery, which means a year of potential side effects. In this trial, though, it was used for just 12 weeks before surgery. And
Wait, so only 12 weeks instead of a year? And this was before surgery, not after?
right. Plus, they introduced a 48-hour gap after chemotherapy and before starting Olaparib.
Why the gap? What's the purpose of waiting those 2 days?
The 48-hour gap lets bone marrow recover from chemotherapy, which helps reduce toxicity for healthy cells. But tumor cells, especially those with BRCA mutations, remain sensitive to Olaparib during that window. So it's about targeting cancer cells more precisely while protecting the patient.
That sounds pretty important. Do we know if this approach changed patients' quality of life?
Initial feedback from patients is encouraging. Many said they could get back to work and daily routines faster, likely because they avoided a full year of Olaparib and had fewer side effects overall.
It does sound promising, but 39 people isn't a huge group. What hurdles do the researchers face if they want to expand this?
Scaling up means confirming results in much larger and more diverse groups. They also need to work out how to standardize the timing, ensure access to genetic testing, and make Olaparib available, especially where resources are limited.
And what about side effects or risks that might show up later?
They're planning bigger trials to watch for rare side effects and long-term outcomes. So far, the shorter course and the timing seem to lower toxicity, but we need longer-term data to be sure.
Does any of this change things for people who know they have BRCA mutations but haven't developed cancer?
Potentially, yes. Success with this targeted approach might move the conversation away from aggressive preventive surgeries, like double mastectomies, toward more personalized options. It could also encourage routine BRCA screening as part of breast cancer diagnostics.
That could have a real impact, especially since breast cancer is still one of the top causes of cancer deaths. Any idea how this might affect healthcare costs?
If this approach replaces a year-long post-surgery regimen with a 12-week pre-surgery one, it could save both time and money for health systems. That could be especially significant for public systems like the NHS.
It seems like this is also a story about collaboration. How did Cambridge, the NHS, and AstraZeneca end up working together on this?
The idea for the 48-hour timing actually came from a conversation between Professor Jean Abraham, who led the trial, and Mark O'Connor from AstraZeneca. It's a good example of academic and industry partners coming together to try something new and then testing it quickly in a clinical setting.
So what's next for the research team?
They're preparing for larger trials to confirm these results in broader populations and to keep an eye out for rare side effects. If the findings hold, treatment for aggressive breast cancers could change worldwide.
This could really change how we think about both treating and preventing cancer. Are researchers looking into using this kind of targeted timing for other types of cancer as well?
Yes, that's already an area of active research. The results here could inspire studies of other targeted drugs and timing strategies, especially for cancers linked to genetic mutations.
It's interesting how just a small tweak in timing and drug choices can lead to such different outcomes. One last thing, what should people with a family history of breast cancer take away from this?
If you haven't already, talk to your doctor about genetic testing. Knowing your BRCA status can help you and your care team consider new options as they become available. And this trial shows how quickly things can change in cancer care.
That's all for today. A potential turning point in cancer treatment, and a reminder of what targeted science can do. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for listening. Today we covered the Cambridge trial, the science and strategy behind the new protocol, and what it could mean for patients and health systems. We'll keep following this story and bring more updates as they come.